Hi all, welcome to our January colleague briefing. So this will be the first of our quarterly briefings for 2024. And in this briefing we really want to show you and tell you all about our plans for this year. But before we do that, I've got a quick video I'd like to show celebrating the whole of last year. As you watch the video you can see how much fun stuff we did at Depot. I'm truly amazed at all the efforts that everybody made. There's so many activities, fundraising, open day, we turned 10, just to name a few. Following that video, I'd also like to share with you the new Co-op strategy. So 2 weeks ago, Co-op launched their new vision and strategy for the whole of the Co-op group. If you watch that video, you can see the passion, the challenge, the opportunity that's been outlaid. It's really exciting. It's a really good video. So have a watch at the next two slides and see what you think. Thank you.
In recent times, the world has become a very different, uncertain and volatile place. In response, we've had to reset our business, make it stronger, more resilient and fit for the future. And thanks to you, we've achieved this. And we can now look to grow our Co-op with confidence and belief. But in looking forwards, we can take comfort and pride in our roots from 1844 and the efforts of the Rochdale pioneers, which started a global Co-op movement. We are the Co-op, and we are different. We've never been owned by or run for the benefit of a few shareholders. We're proud that we've been member-owned since day one. Always have been, always will be. And it's still what drives our Co-op difference today. The more our members choose us, the more value we create for our member owners and their communities. Our new vision is cooperating to build value for our member owners every day. We intend to bring our vision to life by making membership more relevant than it's ever been. We've always had 3 types of member value: economic, social and democratic. By being a member of our Co-op, you'll get the best value on our products and services. We support the issues our members care about through our work in their communities and through our commitments to things like sustainability, climate change, animal welfare and fair trade. And our members can use their voices to have a say in how we run our Co-op and the things that matter most to them. Now, we want to bring these different types of member value together and make them even more compelling, with an experience that's irresistible and indispensable. And the more our members choose us, the more value they get from being a Co-op member. So, each of our businesses will look to grow substantially in the next decade. Through new products and partnerships, and making the most of the investments we've already made and the routes to market we've already established. And looking to enter some new markets where we can use our Co-op difference to show up where our member owners and society need us most. We'll look to simplify our internal services and look at how we could provide them to other partners. We already buy and distribute food and drink on behalf of other independent co-ops. So we'll be looking for more ways like this where we can offer our services to other organisations to create mutual benefit. Underpinning all of this will be you, our colleagues, and we'll be supporting you on what you need today, tomorrow and in the future. Our culture will be based on listening, inclusion and great opportunities for all, so that we can cooperate to build more value for our members every day. Together, we'll grow our profits for the benefit of our members. We will grow meaningful connections to our co-op, strengthening the business owned by our members, and build more value back to them every single day. This is the true power of co-op membership, and this is the true power of cooperation. Welcome to the new cooperative era.
I think watching the co-op strategy is really exciting. You can just see the amount of growth plans that the business has got in place to really grow the co-op group. The key focus will be membership. That focus on membership is going to drive more and more volume through our logistics network. Underpinning all of that is the strategy that we have in terms of our culture and our colleagues. So this slide shows you what we're going to be holding ourselves to account for within our depot. Colleagues first, always. That is the absolute focus, and that is what I'm working with all of our management teams on, how we do that, how we listen, how we act, and how we can move things forward. So underpinning all of that is the talkback plans and talk logistics sessions. Your feedback is crucial, and us working collaboratively together will help us deliver what we need to deliver. As we go through this journey, if you feel that we're not on the right path or we're not anywhere near where we want to head to in terms of our plans, then please shout and please let us know. I'm now going to hand over to Dan, who's going to give us an update on health and safety.
Hi, my name's Daniel Bowstead, and I'd just like to take you through the health and safety slides. So looking to 2024, our main aims are to reduce the number of forklift-based serious near-miss incidents in the warehouse. So as we've seen in 2023, we've seen a spike in these. We're going to continue the good work that we've done across the transport team in engaging with drivers and driver safety behaviours, but specifically within the warehouse, FLT and pallets falling from height is where it's at, so we're going to focus in on that. The next point that we have is reducing the number of lost time injury accidents to colleagues. There's two types of accidents. You could have a paper cut at the photocopier, which is an injury accident, and then there's the more significant incidents whereby our colleagues are actually injured in the workplace and have to take time off. That can affect them, it can affect their working life, it can affect their social life, it can have an impact on the business. So those are the sorts of incidents that we're going to try and engage with colleagues and look to reduce for 2024. Looking to the next point, we aim on building on the good work that we've been able to do with the safety union reps, and we're looking to integrate them into the incident investigations that we're conducting. So getting them to view the evidence, getting them to understand what's actually happened in each and every incident, and trying to come to some form of collective decision with regards to what's happened and how we can arrive at a joint decision. Sometimes we will, sometimes we won't, but we do welcome the opinion of the safety reps as your champion, if you like, in order to discuss incidents and get a colleague's perspective when we're conducting investigations. So very much continuing that vein. We've done a great deal of good work in the warehouse. We're looking at transferring that across to transport, and hopefully we can build on that success for 2024. Looking to working alongside our team managers and try and reduce the time of incident completion. So what we're looking there is when an incident investigation is conducted, looking at trying to reduce the length of time that actually takes, working that down, achieving what would be compliant with policy and getting that over the line quicker and more effectively. We're going to continue the health screening that some of our colleagues will have seen, particularly if they work in the VMU, DKIT or the freezer chambers, and that could be to do with odometry testing. And principally that's just maintaining the health and welfare of those colleagues operating in those environments. They can be quite noisy environments, it can be prolonged, so we're monitoring their health over a prolonged period of time, and we'll be continuing that into 2024. Again, we're liaising with colleagues and union reps with regards to the provision of PPE. So yes, we've got a good strong base of personal protective equipment, but what we're looking at doing is building on that, making it more fit for purpose, more comfortable, longer lasting, and probably investing in that from a monetary perspective. So if we buy an item that's slightly better than we have in the past, is it lasting longer? We're getting longevity, and is it a better, more substantial item? So again, working alongside the union reps that have already been conducting trials in relation to that. And then finally, we're looking at encouraging joint working between the union reps and team managers whilst out on the shop floor. So again, can we harness the knowledge of the safety reps and put that with the experience of the team managers and get them to go and conduct short audit walks around their working environment, whether it be in the yard, whether it be in the VMU, whether it be in DKIT, to be able to identify some of the issues and work through those. That might be as simple as an obstructed fire exit. It might well be fire trails in the racking. Okay. In a nutshell, that's where we're going for 2024. Thank you very much. See you next time.
Good afternoon. I just wanted to take you through the changes that can happen in the warehouse for this upcoming year. So on the weekend of the 13th and 14th of April, we've got an upgrade to our SAP system, which will basically take a day's worth of pick out from us. So we're busy at the moment looking in the background to see what it means for the warehouse colleagues and what it does for our work for around that weekend. But it'll basically be like New Year's Eve, where we won't be picking for a certain day. So we need to work through, we'll see what that looks like, and we'll get our communications out to you very soon. We're having a new battery build in Q2 of this year. The one that you can see in the background, the picture of, will be taken away, and a much more simplified version of battery changing will be implemented from here onwards. So the quad stackers will be going, and we'll be introducing ground floor roller beds, much the same as Primary currently use. And that should happen sort of April onwards of this year. We've got a Central England volume coming up, and I'm sure you've heard a lot about Central England already, but just to support that, we've got 7 lollops coming into site, picking lollops, 4 kg lollops, and our 13th reach truck is back in service. But it looks like the other 12 reach trucks, but does operate slightly differently, as it's got slightly longer forks and a modified back section to it. So whoever drives that truck needs to be aware that it does behave slightly differently than the others. In agreement with Asdor, we've got a rota review coming up, and that's to see that our requirements for colleagues are in the right place. But that's coming up in the first quarter.
Hello Castlewood colleagues, my name is Jeff Lewis, I'm stock manager here at Castlewood. So I want to take you through some significant changes in the ambient chamber that my team have made over the past couple of months. So somewhere around this kind of area here is where eggs are picked. So at the minute you come straight out to chill and then you go straight into pick eggs, but now we've made it so there's no replens or putaways needed in the egg section, which increases productivity as there's no reach trucks in that area. Move on to the next bit. So you'll see on the map there's a big grey area. That is where you used to pick things like your toilet roll. That has now been given to Primary to help them expand their operation. That entire area now belongs to Primary. So if we go into the next part of the map, you'll see right in the middle around the C aisles, there's a big grey bit in the middle. Again, that is Primaries. And then further off to the left, you see some more grey areas. So that is either partial of it is some of it is Primary, but the majority of it is still ours. It's locked down aisles, so there's no actual picking operations in them particular areas. However, they are used for what we call empty low-level reserve slots. So that allows ambient goods in colleagues to, rather than a pallet that comes in broken, rather than having to restack it, you can put it in a low-level reserve, which keeps it safe, but obviously increases productivity. So going to the next sections, you'll see around the area there's some arrows that point up and down. The way that works is the business has decided to go down a route of fast and slow moving aisles. So basically you go up a fast moving and back down a fast moving, and then further on to different parts of the warehouse you go up a slow and down a slow. Now the way it works is that because you group slow moving products together, then you shouldn't really have to get them out as much, which decreases the travel you have to do and increases productivity. This is saving roughly £1,000 a week. But the only kind of caveat we've got to this is stackability of products just take a hit. So to make it all fair, if you've got a fast-moving aisle, fast-moving item in a fast-moving section, however, it doesn't stack very well in the area, it's got to stay there because that's the whole point about the business move. So yeah, it's all down to the £1,000 a week saving, and we are trying the hardest. When my team are moving items around, they are trying to make sure that the items are stackable as possible, but it's not maybe as good as ever it used to be. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put ask Jeff a question on the WhatsApp community group as well as Facebook, so you can ask me any questions on the layout. Yeah, so thank you for listening.
Hi, it's Gary Roberts here, Transport Manager at Castlewood, and I want to take a little bit of time to share with you what transport looks like for 2024. In the middle, you can see a section titled People, and we want to put our colleagues at the centre of everything we're going to do throughout 2024. We already have a talkback plan created with information and feedback from your talkback surveys and from the talk logistics sessions held at the back end of 2023. Our 2024 talk logistics sessions have recommenced and will take place throughout the remainder of the year. In terms of development, I'll be asking our management team to speak to colleagues in their one-to-ones to establish what development might look like for them and how we can bring some of that to life. We'll also be introducing new forums across transport where colleagues can join in and raise any issues or queries that they may have. In terms of colleague welfare, on the left, we're going to address our LGV vehicles. First and foremost, are they clean? So we'll do a cab cleaning, interior cleaning purge, and we'll also review things like air conditioning, radios, night heaters, and so on. Some of our buildings as well, so the transport office, our gatehouse, and our VMU will all be redecorated. We'll also be looking at air conditioning in our VMU. In the summer, it's a really, really hot place and environment for colleagues to work in. We'll also be looking at seating throughout our transport office. To the right on operational, we have Central England that will be coming under the banner of the cooperative group. Hit 1 took place on the 7th of January. The second hit takes place on the 7th of February, with the last hit taking place on the 24th of March. We'll see us go from 670 stores to 545 stores. Our driver rota committee is currently in progress and is in week 4. So excited to see where that takes us. We'll also be carrying out in April a full office rota review for all our managers and support assistants. We still have a number of fleet vehicles to arrive, and we're expecting around about another 20 in the next couple of months. Our DCPC also commenced in week 1, and to date there are over 225 colleagues that have attended. Thank you for listening.
Hello. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Alan Williams. I'm Inbound Operations Manager within the Primary Operations. My role is to look after the fresh intake for all of the depots and the primary hauliers that make those deliveries. I'm also responsible for the warehouse and picking operations in Newhouse, Avonmouth, Biggleswade and here in Castlewood. Before I look ahead for the next 12 months, I just want to share some of the numbers from last year. Here in Castlewood, the team have had a great year, picking and dispatching 18.1 million cases, and that's up from 9 million just 3 years ago. In the wider team, a third of all of the deliveries into the fresh network are made by a primary vehicle, and Primary themselves delivered 1.36 million pallets across the whole of 2023, and about 50% of everything that comes in is on a primary vehicle. All of that was delivered at a service level of 94.6% on-time delivery, which is a great result. And overall, the primary operations delivered £10.65 million worth of profit back into the whole co-op group. As we look ahead here in Castlewood, we don't want to stand still, so we'll continue to support the peak flowers and plants, and also be looking to new suppliers for pickups and cross-stock to join us. As we grow, we'll need additional colleagues, and as new colleagues come on board, we'll integrate them into the wider team. And finally, obviously we do all of this in a world where it's very cost conscious, and we need to focus on our efficiencies and make sure that our cost to serve is as cheap as possible to make sure that we can capture new suppliers into the operation. Thank you.
Thanks for all those great updates for each department. It's really insightful to see what's happening in each area. On this slide you can see our current engagement plans for the year that Vicky's kindly put together. So there's absolutely loads from different activities, sporting events, charity fundraising. We'll have our depot open day again in September and all the fun Christmas activities that we saw last year. Bigger and better is what we're heading for this year. If you do have any ideas of anything that you want to get involved with, then please reach out to Vicky. Her email address is on this slide. The other thing to mention is that our NanoFlow store is due to open at the start of April. So that's really exciting, and as we know more and if anything changes, obviously we'll keep you posted. On the next slide you'll see an update from Ben and Ryan in our planning department on our new Castlewood Depot app. Thank you.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Castlewood colleagues. I am here to tell you about our new Castlewood Linktree. You might say, what is a Linktree? A Linktree is a tool which allows you to share multiple media links in one area. Many social media influencers use this app to spread their social media accounts to their audiences. So, what is the purpose of us having one? It allows us to access all our depot information, news, and other links in one area. It will also keep us updated wherever you are, from drivers being on the road to you being at home. Linktree doesn't require any mobile apps or sign-ups. Here are a few examples of the links: weekly huddles, links to Facebook pages and WhatsApp. You can view colleagues' benefits and membership, My HR, and much more. For any suggestions or issues, please contact me or Ben. You can access the Linktree through a QR code on the driver's cabs or posters around the depot. Thank you for listening.
Massive thanks to Ben and Ryan for pulling that together. Like they've said, if you've got any feedback, please get in touch to let us know how you think the app is working or what you'd like to see on there. On this slide, I'd really like to announce our Q1 Colleague Award winners for going above and beyond in their day-to-day roles. We have Stuart Trainer from Knights, who was quick to act when another colleague had an incident on night shift and really supported that colleague and went out over and above and out of his way to support and make that colleague feel comfortable. Massive congratulations, Stuart, and thank you and well done. Russell Gordon was nominated from Transport on his leadership and behaviours and things that Russ demonstrates day in, day out. Is always going above and beyond for everyone and is there to help. Absolutely brilliant. Well done, Russell. And then Vicky Cohut, who's our engagement coordinator, has done a fantastic job of transforming our engagement for our site, really helping shape things, challenge us, suggest ideas, and she was nominated for all that effort she puts in. So massive congratulations and well done, Vicky. Congratulations to you all. If you do have a nomination that you'd like to put in for the next round of colleague awards for the next quarter, then please see the posters around site and get your suggestions in. Thank you. And last but not least, I'd like to touch on the questions that you guys have submitted for these colleague briefings. So a few weeks ago, I asked for a number of questions to be submitted so that we could go through them in the briefs. These are just 3 that were kind of summarised the amount of questions that were asked. All the other questions we will answer, but we'll put those through the huddle. These were the ones that came up the most. So the first question, why are we so low on work? Yet we have new starters every week. Obviously, volumes have been down for the last few months. I think the changing environments that we see out there have meant that overall shoppers are buying things differently. We're not seeing the volume in stores, we're not seeing the volume through our depots. Why are we recruiting? Well, we're recruiting for the forecast that we have in place. Obviously, we're bringing Central England in the next few weeks, and that sees us climb to a 1.1 million picked number, and we need to be ready for that. So that's why we've been recruiting over the last few months. We are paused on recruitment right now because we feel that we're in the right place, and that'll get us to that point that we can pick those volumes when they come in at the end of March. Locker rooms and toilets, is there anything we can do around the facilities and some repairs? Absolutely. So we are working through a plan of what we can do, and when we can do that, our facilities team are drawing up a bit of a matrix to say, well, what's key, what needs doing right now, what's in really bad